Yes, students. Now, as we know that today we have a topic transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, but before starting this, first of all, you should know that what is a verb. So, what is a verb? This thing you must be knowing about this. So, a verb is a word that shows an action or a state of being. Now you can see here an action. From the beginning you are understanding that all the action verbs are called verb. Okay, so but it's not exactly, because in other words state of being. Now you can see here examples. He ran quickly. So this ran, this you can do, we can do easily the action, okay, of this word ran. By showing running we can easily do any action, and we can show, we can prove to someone that this person is running. But what is this is? Don't you think is also a verb? But can we do any action? No, we cannot do any action with this. So what happened? This is our state of being. Means this verb is showing that in which position this person is. That he is happy. Okay. So by this we can easily understand that we have what is the verb? That a verb is a word that shows an action or state of being. Okay. In other words, they explain what something is or is doing. Fine. So means this person, what is this doing? Okay. By this we can easily understand. So I hope you have understood what is the verb. So before understanding transitive and intransitive, you must be knowing some of the points. So that we are going to start. Now the next one, that is dynamic versus stative verbs. So same as dynamic. So dynamic same as action verbs are called dynamic verbs. Sometimes referred to as action verbs usually describes actions we can take or things that happen. Now see, some of the examples are over here. That is, these are become, then drink, then eat, go. Now you can, students, now just try to do all these actions. Can you do this? Go, grow, learn, read, run, sleep, talk, type, walk, watch, work, and write. So I hope you all can do this clearly, isn't it? So we all can do example, we can all can do actions of these words. So these verbs are called dynamic verbs. What are these verbs? Dynamic verbs, or we can say these verbs are called action verbs. Okay. So I hope you have understood. Now the stative verbs. Stative verbs usually refer to a state or condition which is not changing or likely to change. Okay, that is state we are talking about. The stative verbs cannot normally be used in continuous like be plus ing. We cannot use in the ing forms. Like you cannot do hating, you cannot do liking. Liking, it's a different thing, but as a verb we cannot use that. Okay, loving we cannot do that. Fine. So that is normally we do not use, but in the different cases we can use them. I am not saying that we are not supposed to use. In different cases we can use. Okay. Now see, what are the stative verbs? Simply they refer the state or condition. Fine. So now just see here, that is, what are these verbs? Hate. Now try to imagine that can you do any action? Hate, like, love, prefer, doubt, seem, know, own, recognize, understand, think, mind, have. Now, after understanding this, now just try to do any action. So, can you do any action of these verbs? No, we cannot do any action. So, what are these verbs? These verbs are called stative verbs. Fine. So, I hope you have understood. Now, the next one, we are talking about verbs can be transitive or intransitive, in that intransitive depending on whether they need an object to make complete sense. Okay, now see, as we know we have to learn transitive and intransitive, but we have to see, first of all we should know about these objects. So what is direct object? Although you have done in the previous class, but still you must be knowing a direct object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action of a verb. Okay, that can be a noun or a pronoun, okay, that receive the action of a verb. And simply direct objects ask two questions. These are very much important. What are these? Who and what. Means if you are getting the answer of these two questions, first one is who and second one is what. If you are getting the answer of these two questions, means this is your direct object. Now, how to identify direct object? Now see, that is Carla broke the vase. Now you can see here vase is there. Now Carla is name of a person. Okay, that is means name of a person means that is subject. Broke. Broke is our what? This is our verb. Okay, and the vase, this is our object. Okay, always you will get the object after the verb. Okay, so first of all, after getting the question, we have to identify what is the verb. So in this sentence, what is the verb? Verb is broke. What is the verb? Verb is broke. Now after that, after verb, you have to put these question word. Who or what? Any one you have to put. Okay. So according to the word, we are going to be put the was. It's a non-living thing. Okay. So what we have to put? Who or what? Yes, we have to put what. So Carla broke the vase. Carla broke what? The vase. Okay. So have you got the answer of what? Yes, we have got the answer. That's why this is our direct object. Okay. So vase, and was, as I told you, direct object is a noun or a pronoun. So was is what? This is noun. Okay. So it can be a noun or pronoun. These are called direct object. So if you are getting non-living thing, that is means it is giving the answer of what? This is our direct object. So always you will get the object after the verb. Fine. So I hope you have understood this thing. Okay. Now let's come to the next one. What is an indirect object? Now direct object we have talked. Now just see what is indirect object. Here, an indirect tells us to whom or for whom. These two question words you have to keep in your mind, to whom or for whom. Fine. In the direct one, what were the question words? Direct one, what were the question words? These were, that is who and what. Okay, so don't forget this, who and what, these were the question word. And indirect one, we have the question word. These are to whom or for whom. Okay, now see the example how to identify. As I don't forget, object, you will get the object after the verb. Okay, so when will you get the object? That is after the verb. Okay, so don't forget this thing. Now just see, Sarah gave Jordan ice cream. As soon as you get the question, first of all you have to identify what is the verb. So what is the verb here? Yes, verb is gave. This is our verb. So we have identified the verb. After that you have to see what are the points given. Sarah gave Jordan. Sarah gave to whom? Okay, so that is Jordan. Sarah gave to whom? That is Jordan. So Jordan, this is our indirect object, and Sarah gave Jordan what? What? This answer, ice cream, is non-living thing. So we have to put here what? So that is indirect, that is direct object. So in this sentence we have both the objects. Jordan, that is indirect object, ice cream, that is direct object. Fine. Now see, the indirect object is always before the direct object. It is saying always, but not always actually. I will be giving you any example here. 99% cases you will get before, like ice cream, as I told you, this ice cream. Now see, this ice cream, this is our direct object. Okay, and this one, Jordan. Jordan, this is our indirect object. Okay, now see, this is direct and this is indirect. Now it is saying the indirect object is always before the direct object. Direct object is here, and it is saying indirect you will get before the direct. In this it is completely right, so we don't have any problem. In this it is clearly right. Okay, but it is not compulsory all the time. So here we have the pattern. Subject, as subject is what? That is Sarah. Verb is what? Gave. Indirect object is what? Jordan. And direct object is what? Ice cream. Okay, so this we have the pattern that you have to follow. Many of the cases you will get the same pattern. So I hope you have understood. Main thing you have to keep in your mind, direct object, you will get the question who and what. Okay, fine. For the indirect one you will get the object to whom. Now just see the next one, we have direct plus indirect object, both. How you can see both the objects in the same sentence. Now just see. Sentence can contain both a direct and indirect object. Example, I gave the book to Lord. Okay. So first of all, as I told you, you have to identify the verb. So here, what is the verb here? That is, verb is, this is our verb is gave. So what is the verb here? Verb is gave. Okay. Now we will get the object after the verb. So the book. I gave. Now you have to put the question word. I gave what? So book is a non-living thing. What? What is what? Direct object. Okay. What? The book is what? Direct object. And to whom? To whom? To whom? We have got the answer of to whom. So to whom is what? Indirect. Okay. So that is Lord. Lord is what? That is our indirect object. So I told you in many of the cases you will get, but not in all the cases. Fine. Now here it's completely opposite. First of all, we have got the direct object, and then secondly we have got the indirect object. Now let's see the next question. I sang a song for Iria. Now here, what is verb here? First of all, verb is sang. Okay. Now just put the question word. See students, don't forget beta, you have only three question word. The first one is, you have only three question word. The first one is, that is who. Second one is what. And the third one is to whom, and the fourth one is for whom. Okay, keep these question word in your mind. Fine. Now see, I sang, put the question word here, a song. I sang what? So what? This object is direct object, and for whom? For Iria. So Iria, that is our indirect object. For whom we have got the answer Iria, that's why this is our indirect object. Okay. Now see the next one. Pauline taught us the future tense. Now here, now see in both the sentences what happened. First of all, we have got the direct object. See direct. Then we have got the indirect object. Okay. Now see here in this we have the different cases are there. First of all, we are getting indirect. How? Just see. Pauline taught us the future tense. What is verb here? Verb is taught. We have got the verb. Now put the question word us. Pauline taught whom? Okay. Pauline taught to whom? Us. So us is what? That is indirect object. And Pauline taught us what? What did he teach? That is the future tense. So this is our direct object. Okay. So I hope and no confusion is there. We have understood. Keep these question word. That is, don't forget this one. Who and what. These are what? This is for the direct object question words, and to whom and for whom. These are for indirect question word. Okay. So I think we have understood all the things clearly. Fine. Now see the next point. This is your classwork student. You have to write down the definition of the in the classwork. First of all, the heading, transitive and intransitive verbs, and tomorrow I'll be teaching you that how to use these objects in those direct, how do you use these objects in the transitive and intransitive verbs. Now see, direct and indirect objects. Verbs can have two objects. As I have told you, verbs can have two objects. The first one is direct, second one is indirect. Direct object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verbs. It is identified by asking the question who. Don't forget who or what. Okay, in relation to the verb. Fine. Indirect. The indirect object is noun or pronoun that tells us to whom and for whom. Okay. The action of the verb is performed. So I hope you have understood. Okay. This is your classwork. And one more thing in the classwork. This. Underline the direct object. In this, simply you have to tell underline the direct object and circle the indirect one. This one you have to circle. Means whatever the circle one I have given, those are indirect. Okay, like you can see here. He bought her an expensive pen. Again I am giving you the hint here. Students, keep in your mind, that is who, what. Okay, these are for 1 and 2. These are for direct object, and to whom and to whom and for whom. These are for indirect object. Okay, now see, he bought to whom? He bought to whom? Her. So to whom we have got the answer. This is our indirect. And he bought her what? So that is expensive pen. So an expensive pen, this is our direct object. Okay, so that's why her I have circled and expensive pen, this I have underlined. The judge awarded to whom? The criminal. The judge awarded to whom? The criminal. That's why indirect. A life sentence. This is our direct object. What? That is a life sentence. This is our direct object. They sent you a mail. So this verb is sent. Don't forget, first of all, it's very much important. You have to identify the verb. So here, in this verb is bought. In this verb is awarded. In this verb is sent. Okay, because after that only you will get the object. Okay, so here they sent whom? To whom? That is you. So this is indirect, and a mail. This is our direct. Fine. My mother taught, verb is taught. My mother taught whom? Me. That is indirect. And what? English. This is direct. She showed us. She, verb is showed. So she showed whom? Us. This is indirect. And what? All the gifts. This is direct. Now see, in this way we have followed what? First of all, indirect object is given and then direct object is given. But many, it's not happening all the time. Some of the time you will get even direct object first and then indirect object second. Okay, so I hope you can do it easily. Now the same homework I am giving you students. This is your homework. Same as underline the direct object and circle the indirect object in the following sentences. The first one, my father gifted me a nice watch. Second, Shaila stitched a dress for her baby sister. Deepak lent his friend his binoculars. Rani fed her dog biscuits. Prema told me about her holiday plans. So I hope you can do it. Thank you.